Hello there, it's me. It's Scott. Um, we have one more. We have some more crime to do. We have a little bit more amiibo crime to do. Also, I realized I didn't actually check to make sure this was working before. It's Trackland. Hello. There's a lot of question marks. I forgot to make sure that the game. Oh, it was work. Everything's fine. Totally works. No problem. Okay. I mean, we really don't need a whole stream for this, but why not? I haven't done any of my chores for the day. I uh, haven't done my whatever. Should we play? We could play this on the Looking Glass. I don't think it would work. The 3D. It's funny because the 3DS was kind of the first consumer no glasses stereoscopic 3D product, but it hurt children's eyes. No news. The 3DS is kind of amazing. It came out, what was that, 2011, 2012? I still have my jammies on from yesterday. And not only did it have that 3D feature, which was pretty amazing, it also had, if I remember right, it had some AR stuff. Like even at that time, it had some AR stuff. When that was not very common. Wait, oh. Wait, did Gladys send me a present? Or just a letter? Oh, Gladys. Okay, we did get another golden flower. That's good news. Great news. In fact, I gotta put on some decent clothes. I can't be out here in my pineapple jeans. It's an outrage. Okay. This can go in the closet. What are we gonna wear today? Just something. I got this new shirt. I'm pretty into it. Let's wear it maybe some white skirt, white shorts. Adorable. Maybe a white. Oh, this nice. Yeah. Maybe this one. This one. I don't really like my drinking straw glasses, I will admit. Pink's a little clashy. It's more, it's more of a rose. Oh, I could do this for my crimes. Some nice crime goggles. No, we don't want to draw attention to ourselves. No. This is a great outfit. Okay, my pinks clash a little bit, but I think it's gonna be okay. My pinks clash a lot. Great. Okay, we don't have any tools, we don't have anything. Apparently I have a lot of shovels. I never use these. I'm not gonna leave those in here. More depth. Well, I've done... It doesn't. It doesn't. In the early part of the game, there's more like things to do, more like actual activities and actual goals. But I'm like so past the end game that there's no... But even then, there's not a lot of depth with... There's not a lot of depth. I mean, again, compared to Stardew Valley, this game just doesn't hold a candle. Doesn't compare. But there is... it's much more directed at the beginning, I will say. And they still do release things every month. So every month there are new things to do. It's just that the activities for this month seem not so impressive. It's the vibes can be very good and the vibes can be very casual. The vibes can also be super annoying. Like half of the functionality of the game, if not more, is disabled when a friend comes to visit. So it's like, yeah, come to my island, we'll do fun stuff together. But so much of what you can do in the game is just turned off when friends visit. And there's so many arbitrary limitations that are frustrating. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many things that I love about this game and so many things that I hate about this game that I'm almost fully neutral. Like I'm almost 100% on the fence. Which maybe that's what it gets. Maybe it gets like 3 stars. 3 stars out of 5. Very high highs, but very low lows as well. And my momentum has slowed pretty dramatically from where I was playing multiple hours every day. It's a nice bathtub I got. I just kind of do my chores now, wait to see if they add anything new that's cool, which they didn't add much that was cool this month, so. Yeah, my main goal is just get rid of Beardo, which I was forced into a life of crime to do. And the decorating the island, that stuff can be nice, but the tools are terrible. Like the terraforming tools are not good. The decorating tools are not good. The way, like the moving of houses and things like that is so tedious and sometimes incredibly frustrating. Like, for example, if I wanted to move this museum, it would cost me, I think, $50,000. So I'd have to pay $50,000 to move the museum. But say I had it almost where I wanted, but I was like, oh, actually, I wish the museum was just 1 block forward so I could change these flower beds. Or the museum was 1 block backwards so that I could have more room for flowers or something. You can't, even though you can walk in and pay and say, here's whatever it is, I forget, something like 30 to 50,000 bells to move the museum. You have to move the museum to an entirely separate part of the island, and it takes a real world day for that to happen. And then you have to move the museum back to where you want it, and that takes another real world day. So I had all my villagers' houses all over the island, but now I have them in this kind of neighborhood. Moving these 10 houses was 1 day each, because you can only do 1 a day, plus like various hang-ups and hiccups where things didn't go. Yeah, you can't, exactly. You have a moving kit where you have to lay down a new footprint and it can't intersect. So it probably took me 2 weeks just to move these houses. And I think that was the thing that really kind of killed it for me. Because there's lots of things, like I have lots of ideas for how I could make this island cool and like nice features I would like to do, but I'm just so burned out on how bad the tools are that it may never happen. Like if I just imagine this game, this magical game that is as good as Stardew Valley, but looks as good as this game. And has the mass appeal with this game. Because of course, like one of the things that made this game so good is it was so popular in a kind of mainstream way that it's easy to find people to play with. And like my friends that don't normally play games or play games very seriously got really into this. So that definitely helped, but I don't know. There's that game, My Time. I just picked a flower. One of the things I hate about this game, accidentally picking flowers, happens all the time. My Time at Portia. I tried it for just a minute. Maybe we'll try that on stream one day. Kind of seems like it's got some 3D Stardew Valley vibes. That game you tried, that farming one, looks like it kind of had those vibes, but I don't think the perfect recipe isn't there. Maybe it will end up being a Harvest Moon game, like maybe it's going to be RuneScape 5. I don't think is that going to be 3D? I don't actually know. Because I think, especially listening to people talk who have played all of the Animal Crossing games, they like added a lot, like the crafting, the idea of crafting, things like that, the idea of breakable tools, things like that, they kind of, you know, they were obviously inspired by other games and added those things. So they have these modern trappings in that regard, but are like really antiquated in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's very, oh, I got a new Lily of the Valley. That's very interesting. So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I've gotten hundreds of hours out of this, but when I really look at that, I maybe enjoyed I did not enjoy all of that time. Like a lot of it was kind of a slog, and a lot of it was really tedious and frustrating. Look at that big fish. Like, I don't understand. And then, yeah, the way some of the goals are laid out and how difficult some of them are, surprisingly, is surprising to me. But when I'm this far in the game and it really feels really end gamey, this is the time in a game you would normally expect to just say, you know what, everything's open. It's open, sky's the limit, you got all kinds of money, you can buy your way out of any problem. But it's not really the case. It's like, I'm still collecting fish, and it will take me a year to collect all the fish. A literal year. Whoa. A Dorado. Cool. Still feels good to get a new fish. Look at those beautiful fireflies with a waterfall. Lovely. I really like the game. The way this game looks and moves, so charming. But, man, it's bad in a lot of ways. And yet I keep subjecting myself to it. Red is here. Okay. We gotta go try to identify some counterfeit art. Speaking of crime, another criminal. Okay, so one of these things will be real, or maybe they'll all be fake. It's hard to say. Is this real? Is this art? Because I have this statue. I didn't realize it was art. I gotta take it to Blathers. Okay, interesting. So, like, for example, if we check out the Mona Lisa, and we take a closer look at the Mona Lisa. Yeah, the real Mona Lisa doesn't have eyebrows. So we could buy this fake Mona Lisa if we wanted to. It's a good forgery, but I think, I don't think so. Really got to get my art history studies, dust off the old art history classes. Pretty sure this woman wasn't holding a weasel. I think it's a baby lamb. So I'm gonna say it's fake. It's fake. It's fraudulent. I don't know this painting. Is there something about it that looks ridiculous? I mean, doesn't look too ridiculous. Let's do it. Let's get this one. I don't actually know it. Sold. So this statue, very interesting. Oh, that ship in a bottle is a pirate ship. Well. Ugh, there's some parts of this game that have depth that is astounding, but it's pretty weird. Like the flower breeding has a surprising amount of depth. Like all of the flowers really do have genes, and they really do like breed and mix in a semi-believable way. But it's kind of a hassle to get some of the hybrids. And particularly the blue roses. I still don't have any blue roses. And there's strategies for it. I just haven't like looked them up and done it. And I don't like the orange hyacinths. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like the color of those. It's kind of a muddy orange. Not my. I think they should be bright orange. Okay, there's another big fish. Okay, so I should just grab this. Can I do it without accidentally picking a flower? Is the challenge here. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm gonna pick a flower and I'm gonna be angry. Okay, I got the thing. Not angry. I shouldn't get angry at something so silly as one picked flower. Is that a different beetle on that tree down there? Do we have that beetle? Maybe it's just the light, but it looks different. Wow, it is new. A Goliath beetle. Wow. It's too small to be a sea bass, so I won't be totally sad, but maybe a squid. That's a zebrafish. A zebra turkeyfish. Wharf roaches. That's it. Oh, my flowers. What a disaster. They're all over the place. Gotta clean up these flowers. I already know how to. Everybody knows how to make a bone toilet plate. Come on. There are definitely some big fish I need to catch. From the pier. Okay, I'm getting so distracted. We're supposed to be committing crimes. I gotta be. Every object on the island hand placed by me. Pretty much. Yeah, that's why it's so chaotic, is one of the big goals in the game is to get a 5-star island to attract KK Slider, so he'll come perform a concert on your island. And so, yeah, basically everything on the island, especially at this point, you know, the island starts out with some trees and flowers, but I feel like I've manually placed everything. And a lot of it still feels like a work in progress that just may never be completed because it's not. Because I kind of lost momentum on it. But at the same time, maybe I'll continue checking in on this game for the rest of the year. Maybe that won't happen. I can feel myself sliding off the everyday cadence. So far I've played basically I played some amount every day since it came out March 20th. I actually started March 21st, so I've played every single day since then, but those times have been shorter and shorter. Oh, she's wearing the mask that I gave her. I just want to give you a present, Piper, because you're just adorable. Can I give you, how about a cuckoo clock? That's a really weird thing. So this game, like I mentioned before, this is the first one to add crafting. And there's also customization. So you can make some furniture, and then sometimes you can paint the color. But there's a whole class of items that you can't make, and you can only buy. And weirdly, variations of those, like these 2 colored fans, those are technically separate items in the game. And so I can buy them once I've seen them from my phone, but if I wanted a different color, like there's probably more variations of these. So it's really even weird and inconsistent about things like that. Like why, like for example, if I wanted to outfit my kitchen in all red appliances, there's no way for me to do that in a sane way. Like either I would have to play 1,000 hours, or you know, if I was famous on Twitter, I could try to get Twitter people to do it, or I could like buy them in auctions on Dodo codes or whatever. Like it, or there's a site called Nookazon, I think, where people also trade and sell items. Wait, what? Do what now? RMT? D2JSP? What am I hearing? Oh, Flo is singing. Real money trading. Oh, I imagine there is. Dodo Codes is definitely not real money. It's just this third-party site people set up, and you can trade bells or whatever people want. Oh. Does that still exist? I very vaguely remember that. There was something like that, I want to say, with the auction house in Final Fantasy XI. Like people had figured out a way to... I can't remember how that worked. Nookazon might be that. I haven't actually looked. There's no microtransactions in this, so you can't actually you can't give money to Nintendo, but I already know how to make a bamboo flute. That's kind of crazy. Is that how I'm going to get my red furniture? My all-red kitchen? Actually, I want an all-yellow kitchen. It's the only reason I want to be a famous Twitch streamer. It's just so I can get yellow furniture. But I don't care anymore. I kind of don't care. I'm kind of over this game. I really, if I can just... It'll just be a nice thing I check in on, maybe periodically. If there's new stuff, you know, catch the monthly bugs or whatever. If I even stay that committed. I don't know. Like, this game, I feel like Stardew Valley has left me with like like Stardew Valley changed my heart forever, I feel like. And that's just not, this game just doesn't hold a candle to that. There is a missing fossil somewhere. There's all these games I play, not all that, they're actually relatively rare. But sometimes I play games that have this like social message where you're supposed to connect with people, and it's a goal of the game to like become close to people and become close friends. This game kind of has that, but it's very shallow. So like this, I have Piper and Bettina's photos on my wall because we've presumably reached max friendship, but it didn't really take any effort on my part. Like I didn't have to, you know, in Stardew Valley it gets intense because you're like desperate to figure out, oh, this person likes this, I got to get them a present on their birthday. Like I can only give them a certain number of presents a week. So it really is, the friendship building in Stardew Valley gets kind of stressful in some ways. And then especially, or in a game like Persona 5, where the social link building is core to the gameplay. It's just kind of incidental here. Just it's kind of nice, but it's also kind of not that important. I'm pretty attached to some of my neighbors, though. All right, Blathers. You can just tell me that you don't want my fossils again. You've been rejecting me day after day. I got a new fish for you, though. And a new bug. And maybe a new painting. Oh, I'm going to blow Blather's mind. Yeah, you're regular. Also, there's so many, like, so much of this game is trying to get the stuff you want if you get invested in it, where it's like, oh man, I really want this particular furniture set. And it's so random, unless you start to go to these third-party sites where people are like actively selling and trading things. it feels lame that you can't even just meet a person and have them teach you how to make something, which seems like, oh, you should be able to learn one thing from a person a day or something like that. There's just so many opportunities that feel not thought through. Or thought through and then they went for like the easiest option. Is it real? Oh my gosh, my tremendous... Oh my gosh. My tremendous statue was a fake the whole time. I wonder how you tell. Everything? Okay. I want to see where that new fish went. I wonder if it goes in that big tank with our, whatever that insanely weird giant fish we saw. Oh, the music here is so good. It does. In 2 days, we got 2 fish in this tank. Wow. Oh, a boring tank. It's really just these 2 fish in this giant tank? Weird choice. They also, like, some of the things they add, like their, like, monthly events, if those were good, I would actually be up for paying additional money. But, like, they had this International Museum Day thing where for a week you could come and get stamps in the museum and get a prize, but then it was just the same every day. And for the entire month of June, they have this wedding photo activity where it's like every day you can go take some wedding photos of a couple. Like, it's why, I don't know why you would want to do that. I guess it's just not designed. It's designed to give people the opportunity to do it all through the month, but there's really no reason to do it more than once. I don't know. I should stop complaining about this game. Okay. I wonder what my turnips are. I don't have any, but just curious. Oh, a new fan today. An orange one. I just bought a blue one yesterday. Garbage. I guess I'll keep my tremendous fake statue. Just find somewhere to put it. Really is a nice looking game, especially for the Switch, because the Switch is a bad console and many things do not look good on it or run very well on it, but this game looks and moves very nicely. Did you really? I kind of wish I had done that with some of my old accounts. I mean, I didn't play too many things like that you could imagine being worth money. I feel like I had a pretty powerful Ultima Online character. And I feel like I had I retired from Final Fantasy XI early, only level 50 instead of level 70, because I spent like weeks of my life in that game, and it was too much. Too much. Okay, this is our last overt act of crime. I pushed the wrong button. Oh my gosh, 600 bucks. I didn't know you played Eve. Were you like super dedicated in Eve for a while? Ketchup's Amiibo. No one can prove otherwise. Are you Eve Whale? Oh, ketchup. So cute. Oh. Man, I can't even... I guess that makes... Gosh. If you had asked me how long Eve had been around, I would have not... I guess it's been around for a long time now. It's weird to think about. This is Ketchup the Third. It's the same Ketchup. We just got to invite Ketchup 3 times, do Ketchup's bidding 3 times, and get a Ketchup gift. The gift of Ketchup from Ketchup. Oh, these flowers out in the middle of the good grief. I just feel like 2003, 17 years ago. I mean, 2003 is still the future to me because I'm forever broken. Oh, Ketchup, you're so cute. I'll do anything for you, Ketchup. I will do anything for you. Okay, let's make a log round table. I can't believe my statue's fake. I feel like somebody gave me that statue or it fell out of a balloon. I didn't even buy it from Red. It's a real shock. I should be watering all these flowers I'm running by, but I'm not. Oh, by the way, just for the record, this is my absolute favorite thing. This right here. Ready? #1 favorite thing. My childhood home. So when I was very young, like super young, my dad owned a body shop, and then he kind of like, really a paint and body shop. And then he sort of decided to make a career switch and get into computers and get into programming and all of that. And so there was a time, still mid-early 80s, that my dad worked at Radio Shack. And so we pretty much exclusively had Tandy things around. So the first device I remember using in earnest was the TRS-80, which was not unlike, it was like kind of like Tandy's version of a Commodore 64. And I played some games on it, and I would tinker around with BASIC on it, but not, I never wrote my own programs. We would get like magazines that had programs in them, and I would try to type them in, and I would always make mistakes, and it would be a disaster. But I didn't do personally any creative programming on it other than just key in things that were in magazines. Then my parents got divorced, and I think a bit later we got a Nintendo, like the original NES. And probably somewhere around that time we upgraded from the TRS-80 to a Tandy 1000, which was like just a, at the IBM clone at the time, like an IBM compatible personal computer. And I got into that a little bit. It could play some games. It was pretty old. There were lots of early games that are now, funnily enough, like freely available on the Internet Archive. So I checked out some of those not long ago. Maybe I should do that in a stream. Dig up some of my childhood games. Hang out at the treehouse. Oh yeah, I forgot I had a purpose here. And then we got a Super Nintendo, and then that was the last console I owned until a couple years ago when I bought a PlayStation 4 to play Persona 5. So there's like a 20-year period that I didn't have a console. And really, it was like in my mid-teens that I really started getting into computers. And my dad would take me to computer shows and stuff, and we'd buy parts and all of that. And that's when I started getting into programming and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of didn't play games for a long time. There were some games that over the years, I would periodically get deep into a game. But I got into Ultima Online for a while, played various PC games late in my teens maybe, but I was much more interested in, tinkering and programming and making things than playing games, really. Until in my early mid-20s, I got into Final Fantasy XI and played way too much of that. And then maybe that's the thing that kind of made me swear off games for a minute. Because that ate a lot of my life. And then I probably went, the rest of my 20s not really playing games except for very occasionally here and there. And then early 30s in grad school, really, as I was just getting more interested in interactive media, it became, felt like more clear that the future was interactive media and that games were the thing. Games were that. And so I got kind of academically interested in games and watched videos and listened to podcasts. But I was in grad school and did not play many games, like a few indie games here and there, just on my laptop. But then gradually I've gotten more and more into it. And then now here we are, playing 1 million hours of Animal Crossing. I also didn't own a PC for most of my 20s and first half of my 30s. There's probably like 15 years I didn't own a PC. But then especially when I started doing VR stuff, it was became kind of necessary. And that's the story. And here we are now. And now I want a new tiny PC called an Udo, I forgot what it's called. It's their Bolt, but it's inside of a little enclosure, so it's kind of like a Nook, but with a decent GPU. And I think I want to try to use it for an installation for the Looking Glass, maybe? Maybe? But unfortunately, the Leap Motion, I don't know, we'll have to figure this out. Leap Motion is Windows only at the moment if you use the latest software, so not an ideal situation. And I really don't like using Linux on the desktop. And that includes for installations. I like Linux on servers, but if it's anything a human might have to deal with, I don't like it. I don't like Windows on anything that has to run reliably. I would still prefer macOS for all that stuff, but those are expensive computers. Like if there's a computer that a human will never touch and it needs to run important software, I would pick Linux almost always. And if there was a computer that random humans touched every single day, I would almost always want macOS. And Windows I would want basically never, except for cases where it's kind of required. A track jacket. I don't know if I have a track jacket. I have a lot of athletic jackets. Okay, is this it? Is this the time? Am I going to pop the question and it's going to happen? What's my track jacket like? Oh, charming. Nice pink track jacket. Okay. This might be it. Draclin, I think it's happening. Okay, this is I gotta capture some moments here. Actually, let's just push this button. Okay, this is it though. There's someone who's thinking of moving away. I could have their spot. Okay, please work. I am Draclin, come on. It's 2020, man. Obviously, my name is Scott, and obviously, I am a tiny Asian girl. That's how it is. I've always, I don't know if I want to talk about this or get into it, but since I was a kid, I've always played females in games. Okay. 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 Here it goes. Yeah. Yeah. You really can't negotiate with Beardo. This is the best moment I've had in this game. Whatever we are, we're close to 300 hours in, and this is the best. I feel like I just defeated the final boss. Yeah. I'll just take screenshot after screenshot. Every word out of your mouth, everything you're saying, Ketchup, I love it. She claps with one hand, it's true. Well, she doesn't want to spill her tea. So, duh. Okay, so we've done it. Beardo's out. So the way this normally works, moving out, just like everything in this game, is a multi-day process. So either Beardo... Well, yeah, the fastest it could be is tomorrow would be Beardo would still be here, but he'd be packing up his belongings. And then the next day, Ketchup would be here, but she'd be unpacking. Yeah, I don't know why that. Yeah, the achievement should have popped. The destruction of Lord Beardo. So really, yeah, tomorrow will be, I anticipate, be Beardo's move-out day. The following day will be Ketchup's move-in day, and then the following day after that, she will actually be like an official Islander. I just want to get one more. I mean, he'll be here tomorrow, I think. Let's go look at Beardo be recruited. He's moving out today. Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm actually surprised by that because this game loves to take its time. I'm trying to knock over his boxes. I can't. It won't let me. Well, Beardo, I never liked you. Yeah, oh, Beardo, gosh. Oh, man. Oh, gosh, I heard you were leaving. I know I've literally never even spoken to you, even though you've lived on my island for weeks. Oops, wrong button. And right now I'm going to deliberately walk out having not spoken to you, so you'll be upset and there'll be a question mark over your head. But, wow. I feel like I'm done. I feel like beating a Dark Souls boss. I don't know what to do with myself now. Normally in Dark Souls, like after I fully complete everything, there's nothing to do but just like spin in circles for a minute. Maybe praise the sun. I love Dark Souls, but I love Bloodborne more. My hot takes. Sekiro. Well, there's kind of two. So there's Neo, which was the first kind of samurai Dark Souls that was made by another game studio, and I didn't like it at all. Just did not feel right. Sekiro, the one that was made by From Software that I did stream some of, no. In the end, I think that's another one that I just ended up totally flat on. Like, where it's just my experience. I didn't have a good experience with it. I had some good moments with it, and once I really learned, I think, how it wanted to be played, I had some good moments. But honestly, I got to the final boss. I did everything. I did every optional boss. I did everything in that game, and then just got to the final boss and just saw what it was going to be. It's going to be one of those Dark Souls slogs that's just like, okay, I'll just do this over and over for 6 hours, and one time it's going to work, and I'll win. And I just like had a flash forward to that future and never touched it again, which is pretty unlike me because I've gotten deep into Souls games. I did like all of Bloodborne, the Chalice dungeons, everything. But Sekiro just, I'm honestly feeling that a little bit right now with Doom Eternal, where it's kind of like I got to the end, I feel like I know what the end's going to be, but I kind of like, I don't think I want it. I get it. I see what you're doing, but I don't think I want it. Do I have any nice presents to give anyone? I gotta find the next big thing to play. Really would like to play Final Fantasy VII, but it's gonna be some weeks before I can do that. Just very interested in it. Because it both in the in the fact that it's a game that has such tremendous like social weight or like historical weight, and just to see like this crazy thing they're doing, where they're not just doing a loving remaster, they're expanding it into something bigger than it was, which is pretty impressive. People seem into it. I do want to play Half-Life Alyx. How did I miss that? Do you want to play Half-Life Alyx? And I feel like I had a couple other games I wanted to try this year, but nothing is jumping to mind. Oh, we didn't get clothes. Oh, good heavens. We gotta go do some shopping. I mean, I love this shirt. Look at that shirt. It's great. Look at the summer displays in the windows. Swim goggles. Okay. Yes, I need it. Oh, I like these. I actually don't like any of the colors. Wow, if the colors of all these weren't hideous, I'd really like them. I like the idea of a plaid shirt, but I'm kind of not into any of these palettes. That's maybe the best one. You got some cool jams. Did I have a yellow hibiscus hairpin? Let's buy another one just in case. Swim goggles. You can put ketchup on your face, which is kind of disgusting. And cheese, is it? Mustard? Who knows? Gross. Stop that. A thing that would be so simple for them to add that I really wish they had was an indicator on these if you already owned them. Because there's so many things that I've purchased multiple times just because it would be such a hassle to run back to my house and see if I own it. There's so many little quality of life things like that that this game just doesn't get. It just doesn't get it. Like this, where you have to enter the dressing room multiple times to buy things. Not cool. Shouldn't have to do that. Like, I think I have yellow sunglasses, but who can say? I think I have yellow striped socks, but who can say? Pretty sure we bought these yesterday, but I don't remember. We'll just buy more. Jacqueline, how's your 3D modeling? Are you working on your Coliseum? You know what games have great architecture, that are not totally unlike that, are some Souls games. Maybe you need to play some Souls games for some good. I feel like the Dark Souls games have, and Bloodborne, the From Software games in general, have pretty extraordinary architecture. Bloodborne still has some of the my all-time favorite environments. Okay, I think we're done. I could water some more flowers, but I don't really want to. Let's go see if there happens to be... Oh, bugs. Oh, that's the bug I wanted. I was hoping I could catch those and not scare away the big bug, but oh well. I'll check the pier one time, just see if there's a giant fish on the pier. Because I know I need some giant pier fish before they're gone forever. Or for a year. Hey, Vivian. Dark Souls is co-op? You can. You can summon people. The original Dark Souls, I mean, I think it got a little more... Let me think about this. The summoning change. I know there's definitely people that basically played the whole game together. Some people only did summons for bosses. I can't remember which games do what exactly. I love Dark Souls. I love those games. Even the second one. Why did she say tweet? Maybe she learned that from another villager? A little weird. Tweet is not her catchphrase. Oh, well, Draclin, actually, funny you should say that, because there might be a game on sale right now that is maybe like the perfect intersection of your kind of game and my kind of game. It's possible. Okay, let me put on my jammies and go to bed, and then we'll talk about it. Because actually, there's a game that is kind of like a super co-op-y Dark Souls-esque game, but it's also a shooter that I've been really interested in, and I just got an email from Steam today saying it's on sale. So maybe it's like the miracle marriage of a Draclin game and a Scott game. It's called Remnant from the Ashes. Pretty sure it came out last year. I think it made quite a few people's somewhere on their top 10 lists. But it's very much like multiplayer Souls shooter is kind of my understanding of the formula. What am I going to wear to bed tonight? A nice blossoming kimono? Excuse me. Do I need some nice geisha hair? That doesn't look like comfortable sleepwear. That hair. I'm not into that hair. I wear this nice cat cap. I kind of wish I had some kitty pajamas. I think there's a kitty suit, but I don't have it. We'll just wear this nice sleeveless silk dress. And then maybe, I wish I had more things that looked like sleepy time. Those for our Chun-Li buns, I guess. And some slips. Jacqueline, you, me, life is yours. The whole crew, remnant from the ashes, all weekend long. What do you say? I think I'll like it. I don't know. I'm really not into shoot people games very much, but it is one of the rare shoot people games that has enticed me. Okay. Clearly bedtime. I think we did everything we need to do today. I should have put on my dodo sleep mask. Oh, I got tired in real life. My in-game sleepiness. Yeah. I've watched some people play it. Maybe I should watch more videos to really decide. But it's definitely been on my list for a while. I don't actually know what I can't remember is, I've definitely heard from people that enjoyed it while playing it, but I don't remember people talking about longer term, like either co-op or single player, if they like the ending, whatever, because I think it's pretty interesting. I think the way it works is it's almost like it's a campaign you play through, but the order everything happens is procedurally generated and is different for every player. And if you go to another player's instance and play with them, I think alternate things can happen and you can get alternate items. I think it's pretty interesting in terms of how that works. Okay, so maybe tomorrow we'll have like a nice welcome party for Ketchup, like an official welcome to the island, an official goodbye, good riddance, Beardo, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do in this game. There's like a couple of fish to catch. I would like all the golden items, but some of them are like a astounding hassle to get. Just astonishing. Just a tremendous hassle. Okay, well, Jacqueline, thanks for hanging out. Anybody else who stopped by, thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube for some strange reason, thank you. Have a lovely evening, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Bye.